welcome to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. This is the show where we celebrate cinema and the work done by the members of cinema. We love people who set the bar higher and we respect films that change our worlds. This week is a mixed bag. Let's start with the headlines. Nikamma is a confused story of a lazy boy that is good in action but lacks lustre. Meet the man whose father wrote the lyrics, Aao Huzur Tumko Sitaron Mein Le Chalun. He makes action movies now and a tete-a-tete with Abhimanyu Dassani. Sunny Deol's son, Karan Deol, is set for his new project, tells us the best advice his grandfather Dharmendra gave to him. And Javed Ali, who sang for the Bachchans, has a unique story to tell. We talk about Nikamma that releases this week, directed by Sabbir Khan. A young lad somewhere in a small town called Bhamli in Uttar Pradesh has a special power. Whatever he sees, he never forgets. He's also a bit animated, loud. Nikamma, as the title goes, which means he's aimless and good-for-nothing kind of a guy. He wastes his family's money and he also packs a solid punch when he is actually expected to. Played by Abhimanyu Dassani, he was extremely close to his brother till the brother gets married. The wife Avni Singh, played by Shilpa Shetty, is an RTO officer. No nonsense at work and quite composed at home. Even does the household work herself, as she says, apna kaam insaan ko khud karna chahiye. When the lazy boy Adi moves in with his strict and disciplined bhabhi, the combination is kind of weird. Also, it's when the honest bhabhi is threatened by the local MLA aspirant who is a criminal does the superhero in the lazy boy emerge. Director Sabbir Khan's remake of Middle Class Abai, a Telugu film starring Nani and Sai Pallavi, aims to present the story of a middle-class family, its beliefs, actions and reactions to tough situations. The story had a lot of meat, but the way it's presented lacks lustre. It's fragmented and often lacks wit and common sense. The action is good as the director Sabbir Khan has a good repertoire of films like Kam Waqt Ishq, Hero Panti, Baghi, Munna Michael and his kitty, and here too it's mostly the action that shines. There is Shilpa Shetty, who looks really nice in her scenes. She performs well, but her character is written in a way that she often comes across as unreasonable and why so serious types all the time. With a few scenes that stand out, it's a 2-hour and 20-minute long film that could have done with better editing, well fleshed out arc of characters and a plot that didn't look too archaic. So this week's release, Nikamma, has Bhagyashree's son, who has been loved in films like Mard Ko Dard Nahi Hota and Meenakshi Sundareshwar. Also the leading lady and Sabbir Khan, whose father was a lyricist in the film industry and wrote songs for Babita and her contemporaries. Here is an interview. Let me start with you, Abhimanyu. कहते हैं आप भाग्यश्री के बेटे हैं, लेकिन आपने अपनी फिल्म
सही कहते हैं सही कहते हैं that's right but also हिमालय एंड भाग्यश्री दोनों जगह
of course but आपकी फिल्म्स के चॉइस ने ये प्रूव कर दिया है कि आपकी अपनी एक नीश इमेज है, अपना एक नीश बॉडी ऑफ वर्क बन गया है. पहले मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता से आपने ये साबित किया कि कुछ तो बात है इस लड़के में. I know that it is a remake of a Telugu film, official remake, but still there is a lot of fresh perspective I can see which are.
साबिर सर जो नजर से कुछ भी देखते हैं तो ये चाय भी अलग बन जाती है. तो सडनली चाय में भी ऐसे ड्रॉपलेट स्लो मोशन में आ जाते हैं, कोई एक्शन होता है, साउंड इफेक्ट आ जाता है, धक धक धक.
Abhimanyu, first you tell me, how has the industry's way of looking at you changed after your first film?
Fortunately, my first film struck a chord with most people who are passionate about cinema. So a lot of producers, directors, people that I really admire, like Sabbir sir, really enjoyed not only the whole film, just my first trailer, the 45-second cut of a single shot trailer. No one had ever seen that before. So yeah, there was a lot of respect ever since then that I received, and it was nice to see a lot of people that I admire now. I'm on one-on-one terms with most of them, and it's just, you know, anything can happen.
Let me come to you, Mr. Khan. आपने बहुत साल इंडस्ट्री में बिताए हैं. You were actually technically born in. Were you born in Bombay?
Yeah, I was.
And your father was a lyricist.
Was a lyricist. Yeah.
Wow, what's his name?
Noor Devasi. He wrote a lot of songs in the late 60s, early 70s for music composers like O.P. Nayyar and S.D. Burman.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me
yeah.
a song.
Yeah. Aa Huzur tumko sitaron mein le chalu.
Oh my God!
course.
Wow.
So my father's written for
Brilliant,
Babita ji and for
brilliant.
Karishma. Devasi is because he's from Devas, from MP.
Okay.
So poets and you know how they like to keep their
Yeah.
native
where they're
places
from.
named.
Yeah, like Manzar Bhopali and
जी,
Jigar
जी,
Muradabadi.
yeah.
So नूर देवासी. तो चलिए, क्योंकि शर्ली फिल्म की जो एक्ट्रेस हैं वो एक सिंगर हैं और बहुत सेलिब्रेटेड सिंगर हैं, तो सबसे पहले हम नूर देवासी साहब का ही जो गाना था आपकी जुबान से सुनेंगे.
आओ हुजूर तुमको
वाह.
सितारों में ले चलूं, दिल झूम जाए ऐसे बहारों में ले चलूं. आओ हुजूर, आओ हुजूर.
That was such a terrific rendition, I'll tell you, because I've grown up with this song. There was not one single sur which was
Yes.
out of, and she's
Oh,
just
sweet.
sang it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was amazing.
I didn't even know.
Good job, Shirley. Good job.
Superb,
Good
superb.
job.
Thank you. Means a lot, sir.
Amazing. Shirley, let me come to you. And I'm told that you moved to Bombay from New Zealand. That's
Yes.
where you grew. लोग बॉम्बे से न्यूजीलैंड जाते हैं, आप न्यूजीलैंड
यहाँ
से
से
बॉम्बे.
यहाँ मेरे मम्मी पापा भी यही पूछ रहे थे मुझसे कि हम इंडिया से यहाँ आए, you want to go back?
Yeah.
While I was studying, I was also uploading videos on YouTube, which is why when I came here for that 1 year,
People had already known about
you. Yeah, and then I could start to record songs, and I did the T series mixtape and
Wonderful.
my other singles after that. So
How
that's
nice. Sabbir ji, let me ask you. You have been directing films for so long.
Yeah.
Hero Panti, Baghi, Munna Michael, of course Kambakhtish,
Yeah.
you worked with from Akshay to Tiger Shroff
Yeah.
to Abhimanyu. What is that spark in a newcomer or a young boy or a girl who wants to make it in the movies that attracts a director?
See, there is a certain X factor that filmmakers would suddenly see in an actor. Only they know. I will not be able to describe it to a lay person because it comes with time and experience to see those things. So there are some skills that the actor has, and then there is that space to absorb more material and that willingness to go all out for that certain part that I will put in my, like when I met Abhimanyu and we were just chatting, my first few questions to him and even to Shirley were, how serious are you about your own career?
You asked me this.
You remember?
Yeah.
I asked Abhimanyu, and for a filmmaker it's very important to understand that here are two people whose dream is this and they want to go after it with everything they've got. So that's one set, it's a tick box. Then the other thing is, do they fit the part? Of course they fit the part. And then you realize how is that journey going to be with them? Are you going to enjoy building something together? Because the way I work is, I have a very informal way of working. I don't make it a point that I am directing you. It doesn't work that way with me.
Yeah.
My thing is, we are doing this together. Yeah. So I will have a lot of conversations with my actors about what I need and what the character needs,
Lovely.
and then give them the space to come and do it. So a lot of things go into that, and when once I feel there is a comfort that we can take this for months, this journey to a year or something, that's how it happens. You have to be comfortable, and there's a gut instinct that comes.
How wonderful. And Abhimanyu, I think there is a certain lens through which people have started viewing you now. You're very different from the other people from your generation, other boys. And I think even as a viewer, I look at your films and just your pictures on Google, I think, yeah, ye kuch alag hai.
That's a great sign, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great sign. You never come across as a person who's actually been born in the industry. I don't see any typical industry traits in you. Like he said, I can't describe it. You come across
But that's
somebody
true,
from,
yeah, he doesn't come across,
जैसे MP या
because
राजस्थान
he's
से कोई
a
लड़का आया
self-made
है.
person.
Yeah.
From the time I first interacted with him, he came across as a self-made person who was doing it for himself. Didn't come from any sort of, with an air or something. And that's what I connected,
Yeah.
with.
Moving on, Karan Deol, who is gearing up for the television premiere of his comedy film Vele, took some time out and spoke to my colleague Vishal Chatkara about working with dad Sunny Deol, the career advice he got from his grandfather Dharmendra, and the film that changed his life.
Karan, congratulations. Your film Vele will be premiering on Ant Pictures on June 18.
Yes,
Also,
yes.
the film got mixed reviews, but everyone praised your performance in the film. What is that one thing that you are most excited about the film's television premiere?
Just like it's there for people and families to sit enjoy on a Saturday evening. It's like a family film, so it's just for people to sit and just enjoy the Saturday evening and relax. So I'm just excited that it's finally getting its TV premiere.
Talking about watching films on TV, how often or when was the last time when you watched a movie with your family, with your mom, dad, and grandparents on TV?
On TV. It's been a while. I'll be honest with you. It's been a while.
So the obvious question: when are we going to see Karan Deol working along with Dad, Sunny Deol?
The next film I think I'm doing is with my, which I am doing, not I think I'm doing, which I'm doing is with my whole family, Apne too. So they all are. You're gonna see me act with all of them together. So as I said, that is going to be nerve-wracking and an extremely memorable experience, all in all, for me.
Karan, talking about the family, your younger brother Rajveer will be making his acting debut with a film directed by Suraj Bajatia's sons, Avnish Bajatia. How different you and Rajveer are personality-wise? And did you give him any advice or tips because you have taken the same journey that he's about to embark on?
No, Raji to me is we are similar and very different in certain aspects. He's been at it for a while, and finally to see the film to go on the floors and the amount of hard work he's put behind the scenes, it's a very emotional experience. And I have shared advice with him because he's seen my own journey. So I said, just look at my journey, and that says enough. You'll realize what you should do and what you should not do. But I believe in you, and I'm not gonna say too much because you have dad and everyone around you. But I'll be there, but never give up. I said, at least see from me, never give up. Okay, things didn't work out initially, but that's not the end of the world. Just keep on working on yourself. You saw me, we lived together. So you just, from looking at me and observing from me, just understand what you should do.
Karan, how's your Dadaji, your granddad Dharamji's health now? And
he's really good. He's really good right now. His health is pretty good.
And how often do you take his advice? And what type of conversations you have with Dharamji?
I do, obviously. I do seek his advice because he's the biggest legend in the house. There's no one bigger than him. He's seen it. He's done it all. And he's saying this film industry is a very weird place. It's topsy and turvy. So he's saying, don't ever let it put you down. Don't ever succumb to that. Always just keep on working on yourself and pushing. Because he said, I've seen it all. He's saying, from what it was to what it is now, I've seen it all. So it's never a straight line. There are downs, there's ups, there's downs, there's ups. That's what it's about, and never succumb to the negativity.
Karan, is there a film that you think which changed your life or made a big impact on you while growing up? Maybe a film that you can watch over and over again?
Yes, I would say that one film would be Star Wars, is because I was a kid. I was very young. Because the way George Lucas and the special effects of that time and the world he kind of showed, I was intrigued by that world. I think I saw that film at least 7-8 times. And after that, because my dad had a really large collections of films, so I used to every evening just sit and watch and watch and watch and watch. And for me, those 2.5, 3 hours, I was taken into that world and I forgot what was around.
So is there a character that you like most in Star Wars?
My favorite character would be in Star Wars would be Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's got his own TV show right now. So Evan McGregor now is playing younger Obi-Wan at that time. So he's my favorite character because his journey, and now with this TV show, you're seeing his journey. So he's my favorite character. Actually, I watch all the animated Star Wars shows like the Clone Wars TV series. I've been following it all from the game. So like I'm like a walking encyclopedia when it comes to Star Wars.
Time for a short break on Now Showing. When we come back, we have Arziyan singer Javed Ali talking about his favorite chartbusters. My favorite is that one. एक दिन तेरी राहों में पनाहों में आऊंगा. That one. So an exclusive interview with Javed after this break. Welcome back to Now Showing. I'm Atika Farooqui. Now, Javed Ali, the voice behind some of the most iconic songs like Kaja Re and Kehne Ko Jashne Bahara Hai and Kun Faya Kun, is currently getting all the praise for his song Setia from the film Major, starring Advi Shesh. My colleague Vishal Chatkara spoke to Javed earlier this week about his music process and how he approaches each one of his songs. Listen in.
Javed, your latest song Satya from the film Major is the one everybody is singing. I think having a song by Javed Ali is that box that every filmmaker wants to tick in order to have a super hit film. Be it Pushpa or the latest one is Advi Shesh starrer Major. Would you agree with that, Javed?
I'm very happy to hear that. अगर ऐसा वाकई में हो जाए तो I'll be really happy and I'm really thankful to God कि इस तरह का अगर लोग बात कर रहे हैं तो I'm really privileged. But it's a beautiful song, beautiful film. और इस फिल्म का जो गाना था जब मुझे आया, मुझे बहुत पसंद आया और हम लोग अपनी कोशिशों में लगातार लगे रहते हैं कि हम क्या बेटर कर सकते हैं, हम क्या नया कर सकते हैं. तो इसी तरह मैंने भी इस आफ्टर श्रीवल्ली गाने को मैंने अलग अंदाज में गाया जो कि लोगों का कॉम्प्लीमेंट है कि आपका एक अलग टेक्सचर सुनने को हमको मिला जो बहुत फ्रेश लगता है.
Srivalli, I mean, that is a song that emerged as this monstrous hit, which is composed by DSP, with whom you of course collaborated earlier. And you have said that you purposely modulated your voice for Hindi viewers when you went behind the mic. Would you please like to share the backstory of Srivalli?
हर गाना गाने के पहले आपके जहन में ये चलता है कि इस गाने का अप्रोच किस तरह से होना चाहिए. जब ये गाना मैंने सुना श्रीवल्ली तो मेरे जहन में ये बात आई क्योंकि बीइंग अ हिंदी बॉलीवुड प्लेबैक सिंगर मेरा अप्रोच वही होना चाहिए. तो मैंने डीएसपी से कहा, मैंने कहा मैं इस गाने में अलग वेरिएशंस चाहता हूँ और मैं इस गाने को ना थोड़ा हस्की गाना चाहता हूँ, थोड़ा टोन गाना चाहता हूँ, अलग अलग. जैसे अंतरे में अगर आप देखें तो अलग वेरिएशन है वॉइस का, जैसे नजरें मिलते ही नजरों को नजरों से चुराए. तो मैंने जब ये ट्राई किया मैंने नहीं सोचा था कि ये गाना इस लेवल पर पहुंचेगा और इतना पसंद किया जाएगा. इनफैक्ट श्रीवल्ली गाने में हमने श्रीदेवी यूज भी किया था कि श्रीवल्ली बिकॉज श्रीवल्ली क्योंकि साउथ का साउंड करता है तो हमने श्रीदेवी गाया था. तेरी झलक शर्फी श्रीदेवी नैना मदक बर्फी. बट श्रीदेवी का जो एक वजन आना चाहिए, श्रीवल्ली ऐसा गिरना चाहिए, वो नहीं आ रहा है.
Let's talk about Kaja Re from Bunty or Bubbly. Do you remember what was the brief that you got from Shankar Rasan for that song? We saw a lot of jugalbandi.
मेरा एक ऐसी इत्तेफाक हुआ था. कचरारे गाने के लिए मुझे कॉल आया शंकर सर के यहाँ से. शंकर जी ने कहा जावेद एक गाना आपने कुछ रिकॉर्ड करना है और आप स्टूडियो में आ जाओ और कोई फीमेल सिंगर भी अगर होगा तो उसको भी आप बोल दीजिए, मुझे सजेस्ट कीजिए. तो एक कोई फीमेल सिंगर का मैंने नाम सजेस्ट किया था उस गाने के लिए. अब अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो वर्क नहीं हो पाया और मैं खुद चला गया. अब मुझे वहां जाके बताया गया कि ये गाना ना अमिताभ जी के ऊपर और अभिषेक बच्चन के ऊपर पिक्चराइज होगा. मैंने कहा गई काम. मैंने कहा मेरी आवाज तो इतनी भारी है नहीं, मैं तो अमिताभ जी की तरह कैसे गाऊंगा. हालांकि मैंने अभिषेक के लिए प्लेबैक किया है जो लाइंस मैंने गाए. तो मेरे जहन में एक बात आई, मैंने कहा किशोर दा कैसे गाते. किशोर दा की आवाज भारी आवाज, नेचुरल उनकी भारी आवाज थी. तो वैसा कुछ टेक्सचर ट्राई करते हैं. जैसे आपको मैंने बोला श्रीवल्ली के लिए, उस टाइम पे भी मेरा थॉट यही रहता था. मैंने कहा अमिताभ जी का स्टाइल कुछ थोड़ा किशोर दा का स्टाइल करते हैं और मैं थोड़ा भारी बना के गाता हूँ. तो मैंने एक गाना याद किया, इंतहा हो गई इंतजार की। मैंने कहा इस गाने में किशोर दा ने लूज गाया है, कोई मॉड्यूलेशन नहीं किया किशोर दा ने। मैंने कहा एक काम कर, कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना। तो ये स्टाइल मुझे वहां से इंस्पिरेशन मिला, किशोर दा। और फिर मैंने ये गाना गाया और गाना रिकॉर्ड करके फिर हम चले गए शंकर एहसान लॉय के साथ में, एक शो भी किया हमने दिल्ली में। और वहां पे ना मुझे पता चला कि ये गाना लॉक हो गया है और मेरी वॉइस में हो गया। तो मैं एकदम खुश हो गया, मैंने कहा ओ अल्लाह, शुक्र अल्लाह तेरा। कजरा रे तेरे कारे कारे नैना, ओ तेरे नैना जुड़वा नैना।
Javed, we can't move ahead without talking about your other two iconic songs, Arjia and Kun Faya Kun. How often do people come and tell you that these songs, especially Kun Faya Kun, helped them when they were going through a rough patch in their life, or even when they want to connect to that higher power? क्या होता है ऐसा, लोग आके बोलते हैं कि इस गाने ने
जी मुझे बहुत सारे लोग मुझे मिलते हैं, बहुत लोग मिलता है मुझे। अर्जिया ऐसा गाना है, मैं बीच में एक शो में गया था जिसमें अमित जी उसको होस्ट कर रहे थे और एज अ गेस्ट मैं वहाँ पे गया था परफॉर्म करने के लिए। तो अमित जी ने मुझे ये बात कही कि जावेद ये गाना ऐसा गाना है कि मैं बहुत थका हुआ था, कई दिनों से सोया नहीं था, नींद नहीं हुई थी। तो यूरोप में मैंने मेरे कंप्यूटर में ये गाना लगाया अर्जिया, और 10 से 12 घंटे मेरे कहाँ सुकून में निकल गए मुझे पता नहीं चला। तो ये गाने का ये असर मेरे ऊपर हुआ और मैं आपको अकेले में एकांत में सुनना चाहता, ये उन्होंने कॉम्प्लीमेंट मुझे दिया। ये तो हो गई अर्जिया गाने के। और इस तरह से बहुत लोग मिलते रहते हैं कि हमारी दिन शुरू होता है इस गाने, इट्स लाइक अ प्रेयर ना। तो ये गाने को सुन के हमारा दिन शुरू होता है। कुन फाया कुन जो गाना है वो मुझे एक जगह से कॉल आया, मैं वहाँ का शायद नाम नहीं बता पाऊंगा, और उन्होंने कहा कि उनका बेटा कुछ डिप्रेशन में चला गया था, तो डॉक्टर ने एडवाइस किया कि इसको म्यूजिक सुनाइए, थोड़ा स्पिरिचुअल म्यूजिक सुनाइए। तो उन्होंने मेरा ये वाला गाना सुनाया और उस गाने की बदौलत उसके अंदर बहुत तब्दीली आई, ठहराव आया। ये कॉम्प्लीमेंट मुझे मिला। तो ये इस तरह के बहुत सारे किस्से हैं।
That's all this week. Next week, Radhika Apte and Vikrant Massey talk to us about the life of actors and the balance that their work life and personal life needs to have. Also, we come back with more interviews and more reviews for you. Stay tuned. I'm Atika saying goodbye. Catch you next week.